Okay, Caitlin and Riona, what we're going to do is, I'm a bit unpleased with Charlotte and Catherine, the way they're doing the podcast anymore. I'm sure you've listened, you probably agree. I'm the star of this. So what I want you to do is replace them. So Riona, if you could do a lot of giggling. Perfect. And Caitlin, could you actually read comics?
Sometimes, yeah.
Okay, good. What we're going to do is...
What are you doing?
You know your work hasn't been that good.
No.
Since when?
Well, just we've had complaints.
What complaints?
Of you.
Shush. Right, so we're going to have Caitlin and Riona take over from you.
It's Riona and Caitlin. Caitlin and Riona. Riona and Caitlin. No, it's always been Caitlin and Riona.
Listen, see what you've started, Charlotte and Catherine.
Catherine, Charlotte. Charlotte and Catherine. Catherine, Charlotte. Charlotte and Catherine. Charlotte and Catherine. Catherine, Charlotte.
Oh no, I've started it all over again.
Charlotte and Catherine. Charlotte and Catherine.
I'm Mark Adams, and welcome to episode 18 of Marksmess Podcast, where with my daughters, Charlotte and Catherine,
Catherine, Charlotte. Charlotte and Catherine. Catherine, Charlotte. Charlotte and Catherine.
we look at the world of geekery using the alphabet as our guide. This month is the letter P for parents. For parents, not for P. We're dedicating this podcast to the hard-working geeky parents out there. You guys are awesome.
There is any.
Of course there is. Plenty of us out there. If you would like to...
Yeah, what do you mean us?
I'm a hard-working geeky parent.
You're a geeky parent.
You're mean.
Yeah, Charlotte, you're mean.
Yeah.
You've been the exact same.
At the very beginning, you just heard two new voices. These are not new presenters, they are guests.
They are our clones.
They are the clones of these two. Actually, you two would be the clones of them because they are your cousins, Caitlin and Riona, who were visiting us when we recorded that bit.
And they're from England, if you didn't pick up from the accent.
They were over on holidays with us, so we recorded a wee bit with them, which we'll let you hear later on. It will be seamlessly put into this podcast. Okay, if you would like to contact us, you can by email at
mymarksmess@gmail.com
or on Twitter
At Marksmess Podcast
at our webpage marksmesspodcast.blogspot.com or find us on Facebook
Marksmess Podcasts.
and do contact us. A couple of people have been commenting on our last podcast, which was the letter O for odds and ends. We had our friend Ruth Sutherland. She always is excited about a brand new Marksmess podcast. Not like Catherine, you just yawned there. And it's great to hear from you, Ruth, and thanks for enjoying the last show. Ruth is one of the podcasters on
TrekkerTalk.com.
and she also enjoyed us talking about our odds and ends, and thank you very much for saying an entertaining show. Patrick Delamore, he also got back to us thanking us for the hello we gave him.
Hello, Patrick.
Patrick also listens to our World War I show, which is John Adams' Letters from the Front podcast, which are the letters of my grandfather and the girl's great-grandfather during the First World War. And do look that up because it is good fun. How's the past month been? We haven't really been out to the cinema. But have you seen or read anything that is worth talking about?
I'm still reading the Warriors books.
And are you finding them really good?
Yeah, I'm on the fourth one.
And every time you see a cat, you think it's going to be a warrior?
Yeah.
Do they wear warrior clothes?
No.
Is it like Thundercats?
Well, there's ThunderClan.
Thundercats.
Thundercats is a cartoon from the 80s and it was revived a few years ago. You and I watched it, Charlotte. Maybe it was 4 or 5 years ago, so you were a lot younger. And it had sort of like Lion-O and Chitara, Tigra, and people like that. Panther.
Basically, their names are just like, when they're a kid, then they have an adjective to do with what they look like. So like, Cloud Kit.
Because they're fluffy like a cloud.
Grey Kit.
Because they're grey like a...
Ginger Kit.
No, not Ginger Kit.
Smelly Kit.
Could be, I suppose. And then, once they're an apprentice, which is when they're 6 months old, and I looked it up, a moon is about a month. And
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you
That's
said
it.
months in a weird way. I thought you said 6
A moon, when the moon goes from being full to being full again, that's how we get the word month, a month.
Moon.
28 days is where a
It's actually
lunar cycle.
29.5.
What?
It's actually 29.5.
Is it? Really?
I think so, I looked up.
Oh,
I'm
well.
not sure. Maybe it is. And then...
Maybe. Oh, that's why we have 30, 31, 30, 31. Because it's 29.5. No.
Keep going.
Oh no, it would need to be 30.1.
Okay, back to Catherine.
When they're 6 months old, they become an apprentice, and then, which is basically where they're allowed out of the nursery. And then an apprentice is where their name ends with paw, so like Cloud Paw, Grey Paw,
Ginger Paw.
Okay.
And then they eventually become a warrior when they're mentors, like warriors.
Do they get a new name then?
Yeah, they get like Cloud Pelt.
Okay,
Like,
so another adjective to the name.
Yeah. The leader, when the deputy dies, or when they become the leader, they choose a warrior to be their deputy.
Okay. Right, sounds fascinating. Charlotte, have you been watching or reading anything?
I watched the movie Zoom.
That is the Tim Allen superhero movie type thing. I thought it was a school one, but that's a different one I'm thinking of. So describe it briefly.
Basically, these 4 kids all have different superpowers, and this retired superhero, has to train them for his brother coming back from the dead, basically.
And the bro is coming to take names and kick butts.
Yeah.
And you liked it?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, you must watch I think it's Superhero High or something like that. And it's quite good as well.
She liked it so much she made me watch it.
You like the little 6-year-old.
You said I would, but I didn't.
You did.
I didn't.
I saw you watching it.
I didn't like it.
Charlotte and Catherine.
Charlotte.
Charlotte had the.
Okay, that stopped them arguing. I have been watching the A-Team, a rerun on one of the channels over here, and I've actually quite enjoyed it. There's a lot more depth to it than I originally remember. There is, of course, the silliness of it, that nobody dies. There's a bit where the helicopter crashes into a cliff, bursts into flames, falls to the ground, and people get out alive. It's got the things the movie never had, a bit more depth of the characters than the movie, because the movie didn't have very much depth at all. Do you know anything about the A-Team?
Nope. I do.
Yeah.
That they're called the A-Team.
Shut up. Right.
Is there a B team and a C team and a D team and an E team?
No, actually comes from military terminology in America. This is a squad of ex-soldiers who are soldiers of fortune, but they're wanted by the military for crimes they did not commit. And if you need them and you can find them, you can hire the A-Team. Da, 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 da. Dun, 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 no. But I'm actually really enjoying it. It's on every day, and I'm watching it every day. That's how much I'm enjoying it. I haven't got fed up with it. I think we're in season 3 at the moment.
On season 3.
Yes, okay. I'm on season 3, and you two won't watch it with me. I tried to get you to watch it a bit, but...
Since when?
Well, you were up late one night. I stuck it on, then you decided, no, I don't want to stay up. I want to go to bed.
No. What? When was that?
I don't know, but it's really boys' adventure stuff from the 80s. I think it's one of those TV series that could do with a good revival in a TV format instead of a movie format. There's been a few of those recently. Some have worked, some have not worked. Anyway, we're going to be talking about parents in a minute. For the intro, you heard the girls' cousins, Caitlin and Riona, who helped us with that. And they're going to be joining us in the next segment as we talk about parents and popular culture. And what's that like? They're going to join us in the next segment as we talk about parents and popular culture. So after this break, we'll be right back.
This is an imaginary podcast, which may never have happened.
The Shortbox Showcase.
But then again may have. About a father and daughter. I'm Professor Allen.
And I'm Emily.
Who came from Ohio and talked about comics.
Walking Dead.
Tintin.
Black Lightning.
White Tiger. It tells of their rise to glory, when the great guests were yet to be booked.
Let's put it this way, Shogun Warriors wasn't going to win any Eisners.
And the great feats of editing not yet performed.
This is Ultra 7, this Ultraman Jack, and this Ultraman Taro, and this Ultraman Leo, and this
of how they spoke at length.
This continuity is really the brainchild of nitpicking nerds the world over.
But to be fair, the best kind of confession is the Force confession.
And reviewed in brief tales that explore creatively the bounds of a given character's history.
Red Sun is wonderful with a very strange ending.
Of brilliant creators before their fall from grace. This is the era where Miller is at the height of his creative and artistic powers, and the ability of strong writing to encapsulate and transcend its time.
Flash of Two Earths by Gardner Fox.
This is an imaginary podcast. Aren't they all? Shortbox Showcase is part of the Relatively Geeky family of podcasts. Check us out on the web at relativelygeekypodcast.blogspot.com or search in iTunes for Relatively Geeky or Shortbox Showcase. And remember, we're not experts.
We're just family.
Okay, we're joined in this section by the cousins, Caitlin and Riona. I'm scared of saying that in case they start arguing again, along with Charlotte and Catherine and myself. And we're talking about our big P. Don't. Big P in this month is parents. When we look at fiction, what role do parents play? As a parent, I think they play a fantastic role, and you should look up especially to the father. But, okay, what parents do you know of in fiction?
Spider-Man's parents.
And how are they?
Dead.
Okay, yes, Catherine?
Paddington's parents.
And they are?
Dead.
Okay, anyone else?
Superman's parents.
And they are?
Dead.
And?
Luke Skywalker's parents.
Oh yeah, that's quite good, because they're...
Also not completely dead.
Okay, over to the dark side.
Dubious. Dubious, that one.
Very dubious. So... Is it every single fictional parent has to be dead for the hero to be a hero?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh. Well, thanks for...
Podcast is over.
Oh, no. Okay, well, are there any parents who are alive?
Sure, you're reading the Spider-Man one.
Oh, no, Harry Potter's parents are dead.
Harry Potter's parents are dead as
Miss
well.
Marvel's parents are alive.
Okay, you're reading about Miss Marvel, the new Miss Marvel. What's her name again?
Kamala.
Her parents...
Khan or Carr.
And that sort of new generation of Marvel heroes, the parents seem to be alive. So, yeah, nodding helps.
Sorry.
How many episodes have we recorded and you're still nodding to the microphone?
Single one.
Yeah. But why is it important for the hero's parents to be dead?
Tragic backstory.
Ooh.
Incentive for... What's the word? Like reason? Motive.
So basically, for these two to be heroes, they have to have me dead.
We can make that happen.
And maybe, because of Spider-Man, maybe he wanted to be bit by a spider. I don't know why, but maybe...
I'm pretty sure he didn't.
Oh.
Would you like to be bit by a spider?
No.
Even that spider behind you? Ah!
No.
Okay. It's okay. Okay, so is it important for the parents to be dead? Can we have heroes whose parents are alive? And mentors?
Yes. But it's easier just to kill the parents, because then you don't have to think about them.
Is this going into, like, the girlfriend in the fridge type stuff?
What?
You haven't heard Girlfriend in the Fridge? In the 90s, there was a comic called Green Lantern, and his girlfriend was killed and stuffed in the fridge. So when he opened the fridge to get the milk in the morning, she was in there. And it's sort of a very anti-women thing, because it has to be the girlfriend who dies, has to be the parents who die, that type of thing. What role do parents play in the hero?
They're more the reason that they become the superhero.
Right, as in... Well, for Spider-Man, it wasn't the parents, it was the uncle dying, so a substitute parent. With great power, there must also come great...
I was just going to say revenge, but...
Batman!
Yeah.
That's the reason he keeps on doing it, because he... And Catherine, maybe. Worrying you.
But the parents always are involved in the person they're against. Like Spider-Man's dad was involved with the guy who went to become the big
lizard guy?
Yeah. Riona's moving her hands. I feel like me and Riona are treating this like an English lesson where we're like dissecting it bit by bit.
That's okay.
These two are just over there.
You're allowed to. Trust me, this is the most sense I've had in a conversation on this show in a long time.
I've only watched the films, to be honest.
Yeah, that's okay. You get a good sense of it from the movies. I mean, one of the things you always have with Spider-Man is his parents are dead.
Yeah.
one of the things you always have with Batman is his parents were killed in front of him.
Spider-Man's parents dead?
That's a good point. I meant to look this up.
Disappear, or maybe it's just parents being absent. But do they die?
Parents being absent. Right. In the movies, they died in the plane crash.
Oh, yeah.
That's the Amazing movies.
They don't show that.
They do in the Amazing movies. In the second one, do they not show
They show the plane crashing, but they don't show the people in the plane.
Oh.
So they could escape somehow.
In the comic books, I think Peter Parker's parents were part of S.H.I.E.L.D. They were S.H.I.E.L.D. agents and they died on a mission.
Yes.
Yes. I can't remember. Yeah. Maybe if somebody out there remembers.
I don't know. It might be from the movies, but yeah, in the movies, didn't they have a briefcase or something?
There was something with a briefcase, the Amazing ones, yeah.
Maybe they're just really fancy.
In the... What?
Maybe they're just really fancy. That's a good point.
Having a briefcase, because they've got lots of briefs. That's a flashback to last episode. What about the mentor figure? Because that's what parents do. As parents would be a mentor. I'd be teaching you different things.
Exactly like this podcast.
Exactly like this podcast. So what heroes have mentors? Harry Potter, you mentioned before. Who's his mentor?
Sirius, to a point. Dumbledore. Molly Weasley. Dumbledore, mainly, but I prefer Molly. Yeah, we like Molly Weasley.
Yeah. So what I mean, we talked about this earlier, and you mentioned the Weasleys.
Yeah.
About Ron being the hero.
Yeah.
And what part do his parents play?
Very supportive.
Yeah. So you can have a hero with a supportive parents. It always seems to be the main hero has got dead parents.
Yeah.
I cannot think of any hero at the moment who is a main hero, who's been a hero for a long time, that has got alive parents.
Iron Man?
No, his parents dead.
Hulk person?
Hulk dead.
You don't know that.
Thor?
Thor, yes, Odin.
Oh yeah, is Odin still alive?
Well,
he's
in like a nocturnal sleep.
But yeah, he's in a nocturnal state, isn't he? Well, they're gods.
Yeah, they're kind of immortal. In the comic books, they're immortal. And
but they're not kind of hard. They're not in talking terms, are they?
They're estranged. Yeah. So estranged parents, a strange relationship with your mentor figure.
Yeah.
Any other examples of that?
Wolverine.
Wolverine, consider Wolverine's very, very old. Dead. In fact, I think his mum died at his claws by accident when he first manifested his claws, if I'm remembering the origin.
So that's why he's so grumpy.
No, he's basically grumpy because he...
It's Hugh Jackman. He's grumpy.
Yeah, because he wants to be in a musical and he can't do songs in the Wolverine movies. I haven't seen Logan yet, so I must see if he sings in that. So
Captain America, they'd be dead a long time.
They're dead a long time.
Yeah.
Wow. So does there have to be tragedy?
It's even in when he goes to join up when he's not Captain America yet. His mother died as a nurse and his dad died in the thing. So even when he wasn't Captain America, then
What about Wonder Woman or Batgirl?
Oh.
Cool.
Well, Wonder Woman in the movie. Have you seen Wonder Woman yet?
No spoilers. I want to watch it.
Okay.
I need to watch it.
Okay.
This is good.
Okay, can't spoil that. So, Wonder Woman in the comics, her mother created her out of mud.
Clay.
Which is basically mud.
Clay.
Okay, clay.
Yep.
Okay, so does there have to be tragedy to be a hero?
Yeah.
Because does that give motivation to do the good thing or the bad thing? What about villains? How many villains have got parents? I mean, Doctor Doom's parents are dead. I know that much.
Elsa's
parents are dead.
No, but they had a memorial service, but they don't know if they're dead. They just don't know where they are.
Drowned in the sea.
No, they don't know if they're drowned or not.
Elsa's not a villain.
Oh.
Well, she was villainous.
Yeah.
At one point.
Yeah, but that's just because she was sad.
So if you're sad, you've got an excuse to being a villain.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm sad.
You're so sad.
You're so blue.
Blue.
Okay. So blue?
What? So,
you match your wall.
What about Harry Potter land? Voldemort's parents?
Dead.
Probably.
Dead.
No. Yeah.
He probably killed them.
No, his dad just abandoned them, and then his mum probably died
Did she?
Yeah, he was left at an orphanage.
Yeah,
so
he's like,
he was left at an orphanage.
Well, they're absent.
Yeah, well, yeah, definitely.
It seems to always be the mums that die.
Yes.
Not necessarily.
Usually both of them die.
It's usually more.
Well, usually the man abandons and the mother dies. Why is that? Is it because we hate women or because we've got such a connection with our mothers that it is important?
Because they know the mum would just think being a superhero is too dangerous.
True.
And would hide their super suit.
Yeah. What has Kamal told her parents?
Her mum knows, but her dad doesn't.
Right.
I don't know if her big brother knows.
Okay.
Oh, siblings.
Siblings?
What superheroes have siblings?
Oh, there is Quicksilver and Scarlet Witch.
Elsa.
Are
There's-
the siblings always superheroes? As well?
That's an interesting. And I know I haven't seen much of it, but the Supergirl TV series, her
Didn't you watch that, right?
Yeah.
her foster sister.
Foster sister works for like that sort of series. Is like S.H.I.E.L.D. in a way.
Right. So does that mean she's kind of a superhero without superpowers?
Yeah, in a way.
Basically
Right.
Iron Man.
He's literally just a hero.
Well, Iron Man's got a super suit. So they've just got it's Coulson.
Yeah, but he hasn't got any powers.
Yeah. Except the power to be awesome.
He's just got technology.
Yeah.
And technology fails quite a lot.
So if you found your sister was a superhero, would you feel jealous?
Yeah.
What powers would you want your sister to have?
Be able to put jelly beans or something. That would be casting. That would be a casting.
Be able to poop jelly beans.
That would be a thing that casting would do.
Would you want to know them?
I would want to be invisible.
Who said that?
I would want her to be able to fly so then I could ride on her back.
I already give you piggyback.
Be a unicorn.
Okay, what about you two? What superpowers would you want your sister to have?
She can have teleportation, but she can take someone.
Oh,
You don't just take me to Liverpool. You know what? That was exactly what I was thinking. I was like, I'd like to go on holiday. Maybe Riona could take me places.
So basically, your superpowers would not be for the good of mankind. It would
I
be
just want to go on holiday.
cheap flights.
Yep. Yeah. So just a bit of a time saver.
But you could hire yourself out as a holiday.
Yeah. I could go to like Harry Potter conventions and apparate.
Another one is where she could stop time, but she could take one person and make sure. Wait, no.
I would just stop time and then like, say you were sitting on like a chair, I would stop time, move the chair, and then and start time, and you would just go.
I would just.
That's super villainy.
Yeah.
It's sisterly.
If I had that, and then like say you had forgot your homework, you could just like go home and get it, and nobody will ever know.
Okay. What I've always had this nightmare of, not a nightmare, but a day nightmare of if somebody had the power to stop time. If they stopped time, then they died and didn't restart it.
No, but like, it could be a condition to it. You can only stop time if you're like hopping on one foot or something. I'm sure there's something out there about that.
Or you can only stop time, but then the monsters come, and then when you start time, the monsters stop. So you stop their time when you start your time, and you stop your time when you start their time.
Can you draw that in a graph, please? Because I do not understand what you're on about.
graph.
If you stop our time, then you start their time. But if you start our time, then you stop.
Is this like Mario that he has to look at the ghosts to stop them?
Yeah.
Okay.
I've realised it's from Wizards of Waverly Place.
The upper.
No, the hopping.
Oh, right.
It's a spell. Yeah.
Does Mario have any parents?
I don't know.
I want to know that.
I discovered the other week that do you know what his first name is?
What, Mario?
Mario. So he's Mario. That's Luigi Mario.
That's just weird.
Is Waluigi actually like a brother? Or
Luigi is his brother.
No, Waluigi.
I don't know. I never got that into it, but it'd be interesting to find out. By interesting, I mean not.
Are the
Probably stepbrother.
Are the toads just like the companions or what?
I think they're just magical toads. Yes.
Toads.
I thought they were mushrooms.
Oh yeah.
They
I've-
don't look
I've-
like toads. They look like
I think
mushrooms.
toads isn't toadstools.
Toadstools. Okay.
Yeah, I think that.
Yeah.
So it's Catherine's fault. We'd all agree.
The
Wario.
and the other one are like step brothers or something, or half brothers.
Is this just your mind canon, what you've made up? That's what mind canon is. When you make stuff up yourself about things.
Pew, 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 pew.
Like when you see two people in the movie and you think, they'd be great together. Smooching.
I've never thought that.
Have you know? Right, I think we've exhausted that part of the conversation. If anybody out there has any thoughts, especially about Peter Parker's parents, what they did beforehand, and I wonder where on earth that is, where they were SHIELD agents when that first comes up, because they don't seem to have talked about Peter Parker's parents, which is hard to say. Peter Parker's parents?
Peter Parker. Peter Parker's parents.
Peter Parker's parents. Peter Parker's parents.
Peter Parker's. No,
Peter.
Peter Parker's parents.
Right. They don't seem to have talked about them in the first 100 or so issues, so let me know. And thank you to Caitlin and Riona.
Woo! She came first. We don't know Riona. We don't actually care. We've always been Caitlin and Riona.
See that? They don't care about whose name comes first. Not like you, not like Charlotte and Catherine.
Catherine Charlotte.
Charlotte and Catherine.
The last name that they're thinking about is Riona. Because you say Caitlin and Riona, you've got Riona on your mind, so it's good. It's good.
Okay, so shall we say thank you to them?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks
Okay.
for having us. Yep.
That's
nice.
That's good. Thank you very much for that.
Hey, Michael.
Hey, Dad.
We need to record another new trailer.
Another one?
Yes, you know that we read comics and then talk about comics, because as we've established, talking about comics you've not read is just dumb.
Yeah, and you make me do it every Thursday.
Well, we've moved.
Have we?
Yes, we have outgrown our old location.
I don't feel like I've moved.
And we have now moved to twotruefreaks.com.
What was that again?
twotruefreaks.com. Hey Kids Comics, still every Thursday at twotruefreaks.com.
Okay, and welcome back. Hopefully you enjoyed that bit with Caitlin and Riona. That was recorded a week or two ago, and Caitlin and Riona are away on. But I talked a wee bit about Spider-Man and wondered about his parents, and I found out in Amazing Spider-Man Annual number 5 from November 1968, we have the story called The Parents of Peter Parker. Try saying that. That's a lot of alliteration.
The parents of Peter Parker.
The parents of Peter Parker.
So it is written by Stan Lee. The penciler is Larry Lieber, and the inker Mike S.
What's an inker?
When you do art, the artist draws it in pencil. Yeah, and then an inker will go over and ink, sort of taking away all the rough lines.
You know the way they don't do one curve. If they were to draw a rainbow, they wouldn't just do curve, they would go sketch.
Yeah.
Well, he would just go over it in just one curve.
And the inker can change the art a bit from inker to inker, and you can tell a good inker from a bad one. Anyway, the inker is Mike Esposito.
Is he a good one?
Yeah.
Oh, it reminds me of Despacito.
Yeah, this was a good story. Basically, Peter is in his Aunt May's attic moving some boxes for her, and he accidentally drops a box and finds some information about his parents. Seemingly, he didn't know anything about his parents. I don't know why he never asked. They were caught as spies, and they died in a plane accident. They were traitors to America. And Peter wanted to find out more information, so he followed all the clues all the way to...
Then he found an old abandoned train.
Hold on. Wait. That is the movie you're talking about, The Amazing Spider-Man 2. Awful movies. I'm sorry. He traces them back to Algeria, where he finds out that his parents supposedly worked for the Red Skull.
Who's that?
Red Skull is Captain America's bad guy from World War II.
So he's
evil? Yep, so this is
he
just...
literally had a red skull.
Like his own skull was red. His parents were meant to have worked for him. They were double agents. He found out in the end they were really working for the American Secret Services.
So the Americans said they betrayed them by going... The Americans said that his parents betrayed them by going into Red Skull's gang and betrayed Red Skull, so the Americans made it up. But did Red Skull not know?
I think you've just confused yourself. Basically, he figures out they were really heroes to the American people.
So the people in charge of America, they said that they were betraying them, so that
Well, it was the papers said that.
But so the Red Skull would believe that he was on their side,
Yes.
so that they could betray him.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. Years later, back in the 90s, I was reading Spider-Man and collecting Spider-Man, and his parents came back, and it was such a terrible story. That's what stopped me reading the Spider-Man comics. Because you knew there was something going on. You knew it wasn't really the parents, it was a clone or something. So I basically stopped, and that was the start of the clone saga. So I missed out on that. So it ended up that those were not his real parents, those were robots sent by the Chameleon under the instructions of a dead green goblin.
Sent by a chameleon?
The supervillain called the Chameleon, who can change faces.
I think it's sent by a chameleon.
Who was actually Spider-Man's very first supervillain from Amazing Spider-Man 1.
What's the difference between a villain and a supervillain?
A supervillain will have powers. Or he's really, really good at being a villain.
That's
They're really super.
A villain's just an idiot.
Yes. Yeah. Hitler was a villain. He was not a supervillain.
He was an idiot.
He was an idiot. That's it. Well, let's go on. I've done a wee bit of reading there, and it was quite interesting about Spider-Man's parents. So let's talk about maybe the books I set you to read at the beginning of the summer. First of all, Catherine, what book did I buy you?
Scooby-Doo Team Up Volume 2.
Right, you've been a lifelong fan of Scooby-Doo. And who isn't? I mean, Scooby-Doo is one of the great
I haven't
cartoons.
watched it that much.
That's because you're slightly growing up. But only slightly. Yeah. Your room has gone from being pink to being blue.
That's because I don't know why. I'm turning into a Smurf.
You're turning into a Smurf.
You're one of us.
So, what did you think of the comic?
It's actually purple.
First of all, who's it by? The writer is Shelley Fish and
So not Shawley.
Shawley and Dario Brzula and Scott
Gerald
are the artists. Sorry for butchering names there. Anyway, Catherine, what did you think of this?
Well, I read a bit of the first story.
Is that it?
Yeah.
I go to the bother of buying you this.
I will read the rest of it sometime.
Well, one of the things is it teams up with different things. The very first story is a team up with
The Flintstones.
The Flintstones. You were never a big fan of the Flintstones. And then it goes to the Jetsons, which you've probably never seen.
Never heard of.
You've never heard of. And then it goes to Superman. Is that Johnny Alpha?
Oh.
And then Secret Squirrel, which was a cartoon in my youth. And there's a Batgirl one as well.
Too long ago.
Do you think you would have bought this yourself?
Probably not.
Probably not. What? You're not really the one who's into comics, are you?
No.
What is it about comics you don't like?
It's because, I can see all the pictures, then say I'm reading one, then I see the next picture looks more interesting, then I read the next picture, then I see another one that looks more interesting, then I do that, and then I just have no clue what's going on.
So you're reading it out of order because you see something shiny?
Yes.
Okay, that's your life. That is absolutely your life. Okay, right, so basically I shouldn't buy you any more of these.
Depends what it's on.
Okay, what would you like one to be on?
Warrior Cats.
Warrior Cats.
Warrior Cats.
Maybe I'll try and find you some Thundercats comics.
No, Warrior Cats.
They're Warrior Cats.
Warrior Cats.
If anybody out there has any suggestions what I should buy for Catherine,
Warrior Cats.
Apart from Warrior Cats, if there's a Warrior Cats one there, I'm stuck.
Yay!
Do write in and suggest something. She is a very odd girl, as you can tell, because she keeps saying
Warrior Cats.
Okay, Charlotte.
And I'm with.
Now, let me know, first of all, remind us all, what... Could you stop reading it? Could you stop reading it for a second and talk to us about it? Right, first of all, let me know what it was I got you.
Ms. Marvel, no normal.
Right, this is the new Ms. Marvel, the young Ms. Marvel. What's her name?
Kamala Khan, I think.
Kamala Khan. Who is this by?
It is written by G. Willow Wilson. The artist is Adrian Alfona.
Right.
Alfona.
So this is...
The colour artist is Ian Herring. The letterer is VC's Joe Karamangana.
Okay.
Cover art is Sarah Pitchell and Justin Ponser, Jamie McClavey and Matthew Wilson.
Really? Matthew Wilson was the one you...
And Jamie McClavey again. Assistant editor was Devin Lewis. Editor was Sana Amanat. And senior editors were Stephen Wacker and Nick Liu.
Okay, well done. And we should acknowledge all those people because they contributed to it. Right, tell me a wee bit about what it's about.
I did notes.
She's done notes, folks.
That's on her phone.
She's got 8 words.
Well, it's about a girl called Kamala Khan, and I think I don't know what religion she is.
She's a Muslim.
And she goes to this party, then some like fog or gas or something, and she passes out.
That's a tertium mist.
Yep, that stuff. I didn't know what it was called. I couldn't remember.
Yeah, that's okay.
And she passes out and she wakes up and she has these embiggening powers, as she likes to call it.
So what exactly does that mean?
Basically means she can grow different parts of her body, stretch it or make it bigger.
Yeah.
And she can also shrink.
Okay, so did you enjoy it?
Yes.
How much did you enjoy it?
A lot.
So much so, did you read more?
Yes.
We actually got the Marvel Unlimited deal that was free for a month if you put in a certain code. And how many of the comics did you read?
Too many to count.
Too many to count. Did you get to the end of them?
No.
No. But then you went on to all different Avengers?
Yep.
And who else is in that?
Miss Marvel. Kamala.
Who else is in that?
Oh, right. Captain America.
Which is the Sam Wilson Falcon Captain America?
Yeah, I still don't understand that. Thor.
Which is the female Thor?
Yeah. Iron Man.
Which is the regular Iron Man?
Spider-Man.
Which is the Miles Morales Spider-Man?
Nova.
Which is the Buckethead Nova?
Yep. That's the only way of describing him. The Vision.
Yeah. And you enjoyed that as well. Now, the month ran out of the Marvel Unlimited, so what are you reading now?
Spider-Girl.
By Tom DeFalco. The great Tom DeFalco. Tom DeFalco was a comic book writer. He still is a comic book writer. But I got to know him in the sort of 80s and 90s. And he did a lot of that sort of new character type thing, learning their powers. The Eric Masterson Thor is one of those. Are you a comic book fan now?
I've always been one.
Sorry. Are you a comic book fan who reads comics now?
I've always been one.
What's the last comic you read before Ms. Marvel? Exactly, folks.
Probably would be that Titanic one.
Which you got about 4 years ago.
Yeah.
So
still counts.
When I was in my teenage 20s reading comics, people would look at me as if I was weird. Why are you reading comics? Now everybody it's cool now.
I'm cool.
Now it's everybody wears the t-shirts and things like that. They don't read the comics, but
I wear the t-shirts.
I know your mother wears the t-shirts.
What?
Yeah, she's got a Batman t-shirt.
Oh, yeah, she didn't really wear it. She says it's a bit small.
She wore the Superwoman one today.
Oh, yeah.
Supergirl. What did you like about Ms. Marvel? What particularly compared to other comics?
I don't know.
Was it the fact she was a young woman? Okay, so if I gave you a lot of the Uncanny X-Men, would you read that?
I think it's just the fact that they're teenagers.
Yeah, and that probably helps as well. Also, Ms. Marvel is a great comic because it's written by a woman. It's not only written by a woman, written by a Muslim woman, so she understands some of what Kamala is going through. And it's great to have women writers. In my day, it was basically Louise Simonson was the woman writer.
Writer. She write?
She... Power Pack, X Factor, those are the ones I would have read of her. There was something else I can't remember. Oh yes, New Mutants for a while. New Mutants would be a good one for you to read from the beginning.
Because I also like when it was on TV, the Young Justice.
Yes, it's coming back. There's going to be a third season.
What channel, Bob?
Oh yeah, probably some weird channel we don't get, but we'll find it.
We shall find it.
We shall conquer.
We shall conquer.
We shall not have any cats who are warriors.
Yeah.
No!
Okay.
We've got a dog who
Yes.
very dislikes cats.
Very.
Say
That's what the
warriors.
bargain was.
The barking.
The bargain. So, parents, what are Kamala's parents like?
Alive.
Which is unusual, which is great. Actually, one of the things I do like about modern Marvel is because you have that trio of young heroes of Ms. Marvel, Spider-Man, Miles Morales, and
Okay.
Nova.
Can I get a Miss Marvel t-shirt now?
If you want a Miss Marvel
And
t-shirt
Spider-Girl one.
and a Spider-Girl one,
Can I get a Warriors t-shirt?
there's no such thing.
You don't know that.
I do know that.
There's lots of people
We
who like
we will. No, there's not.
More
We-
people that like Miss Marvel. Spider-Girl.
Well, there's more people that like Warriors than like Survivors. I found that out.
We'll get you a Muslim bathing suit, which is part of her. I love that in it, that she wore her bathing suit, because that was really in the news when we've got the news at the moment where there's a lot of negative press for Muslims, but there are a lot of most Muslims out there who are just ordinary people trying to get on with life.
Trying to show that Muslims are good.
Yeah, and we don't really get much contact with Muslim community in Northern Ireland. There is a Islamic centre in Belfast, and maybe someday we will go there and have a look around. It's nice having those three younger heroes, and I've enjoyed reading Nova and Miles Morales.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind reading Nova and Miles Morales as a Nova Buckethead. Because Buckethead was in one of
Spider-Man
a couple
Unlimited?
No,
No?
couple of the Miss Marvel ones.
Yeah,
I think it was all different Avengers actually.
that's the shared universe thing for you.
Because they were looking for his dad.
Yes, that is a constant thing in his comic.
What happened to his dad?
He was a Nova. Now, this is all...
Wait, what happened to his mum first of all?
His mum's still alive.
Finally, somebody has parents that's alive.
Kamala has.
Somebody other than Kamala.
Miles Morales has.
Somebody.
Okay, sorry. But it is a thing that we're now getting over that.
Wait. So there's two teenage spider people.
Who's the other one?
Spider-Girl.
Spider-Girl is from Alternative Future. Peter Parker and Mary Jane Watson Parker's daughter.
Okay, so...
It's a different universe.
Yeah, but how did Miles Morales become Spider-Man now?
He is from another universe as well that came into our universe because of something, Secret Wars, which I don't quite understand because I haven't read it and it's just too complicated.
Why did he become Spider-Man? Did the other Spider-Man die or something?
Other Spider-Man died, but before that, Miles Morales was bitten by a spider, genetically engineered spider that his uncle had stolen. His uncle was a thief. His uncle is in Spider-Man Homecoming as the thief that Spider-Man sort of webs up and gets information from in the car park.
He webs into his bit,
Yeah.
and then all his freezer stuff melts.
That's right, that's so funny. We will finish off now because Catherine is getting a wee bit bored with all this Spider-Man talk and not enough cat talk. Go on, say again. Okay. The warrior cats. The kits are the apprentices.
It's kitten.
No kits.
But they're called kits.
Kits are kittens.
Oh dear. This has been Marksmess Podcast, brought to you by the letter P of geekery.
P. Oh, wait.
The letter P.
Can I do my joke?
Okay.
The teacher asked the boy to do the alphabet. Catherine, will you be the boy, actually? Do you know the joke?
No.
Just say the joke.
And
Let's get outta here.
the boy said A B C D E F G H I J K L M N O Q R S T U V W X Y and Z. And the teacher said, "Where's the P?" And the boy said, "Halfway down my trousers."
That's
I am
just weird.
so sorry. This has been Marksmess Podcast, brought to you by the letter P of geekery. Our parents will appreciate that joke. All characters are property of their owners and not of us. We do not own any of them. But you can contact us by email at
mymarksmess@gmail.com.
on Twitter at
Marksmess at Marksmess Podcast.t
on our webpage, marksmesspodcasts.blogspot.com, or on our Facebook page.
Marksmess Podcast.
And thanks to Josh Woodward of joshwoodward.com for the title music. Next episode will be the letter what, Charlotte?
Q.
Yes.
Q.
The letter Q. Charlotte has a mental block.
Then it'll be T, and then it'll be U, and then it'll be V, and then it'll be
Yeah, but next episode, what are we going to do for Q?
It'll be over.
What we're going to do for Z?
What are we going to do for Q? That's what I'm worried about.
Country.
Queen and Country. Do you know what? That's probably better than anything I've come up with.
What were your ideas?
Quality.
Quail eggs.
Quail eggs. We'll do some quail eggs.
Realm.
We'll do big score words in Scrabble. Q's the biggest scoring tile in Scrabble. And we could do Quasar.
Quantum physics.
We could do a whole episode on quantum
I
physics.
don't even know what quantum physics is.
Well, you do the notes for it.
I don't know what it is.
Right. It's physics that's, more quantum.
A quantum reality.
A quantum
What's
reality.
quantum mean?
I don't even know if that's real.
Do you know what? That's something you put in a comic book. Yes, we're going into the quantum reality.
What does quantum mean?
I don't know.
I don't really know.
It's just a big word.
You're
so we
going
know
into a quantum banana.
That just sounds weird.
Well,
We're doing quantum speed.
no.
Stick quantum in anything and it makes it more
Quantum microwave.
quantum waves.
Can we edit after? Come get your quantum coat. It is so quantum that nobody knows what quantum means.
Catherine.
A
Quantum briefs.
I'm wearing my quantum briefs. They are nice
you?
and snug and cozy.
And quantum.
And quantum.
And quantumy.
After this, I'm gonna look up what quantum means.
I think what we'll do is we'll say goodbye to our listeners.
Bye.
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 Okay, Google. What does quantum mean?
Quantum, a discrete quantity of energy proportional in magnitude to the frequency of the radiation it represents.
Okay, Google. Do you like Marksmess podcasts?
I'd tell you if I knew.